Here we go, here we go. Good morning. If you're catching the replay, we are so happy that you are here with us today, this afternoon, this evening. And today we are talking about manifesting, visioning, and setting intentions. And we are going to start with a little bit of a little lesson, a little grounding into exactly why we set intentions, and how the neuroscience behind that supports all of the metaphysical and woo-woo beliefs around it, which I find fascinating and kind of dork out about. And then we'll go into a little bit of movement and pranayama and meditation and writing our own visions for the future. So that's kind of the lay of the land to ground you in the work. And this is all building on the previous recorded modules that are in your Tech AF Founder Academy work. And if you are a mentor, then you also did this work in your previous session. So really starting to ground into how do we become the queens of our own realm? How do we take responsibility for the way that we spend our energy? If every day has 24 hours, every one of those hours is meaningful and can be working towards increasing our vitality, channeling our cognitive power and creative energy towards our goals. And we want to do that for as many of the hours as possible. So this can be a little uncomfortable, especially as women. Like, we are societally conditioned to say yes, to be small, to not take up more space, and to really doubt ourselves. And so what we're doing today is retraining our brains, or we're beginning to retrain our brains. And this is going to be a long-term process, and we're going to walk away with a bunch of tools to both train ourselves in the present and with our daily habits, as well as hold a vision for something bigger for someone that we're becoming. And as always, it's not necessarily about hitting all of our goals. It's who we become in the process of moving towards those goals. So it's not just about starting a company, but who do we become in the process of starting that company? And what does having that level of power and influence of people in our realm mean for the greater good? So over the last 2 weeks, we have been clearing our spaces. I realize this is hilarious because on the screen, this does not look cleared, but this is like super high vibe for me, and definitely in person feels that way. Which is why it's in the frame. But we have been clearing our spaces, both our physical spaces, like our desks, our desktop of our computer, our wallets, our offices, our cars, to create space for fresh energy. We've been doing that in our physical body with embodiment practices, either the ones that we do on our own. I know that Kristen does Kundalini in the morning, and Alyssa has her own embodiment practices that she's welcome to share if she wants to someday. And I have a daily movement practice, but certainly some like more intense somatic movement practices. And so the more that we're moving energy in our body, the more space we're creating as well. And so all of that is creating a vessel that is primed for us to plant the seed of our future vision. And I really want to honor and kind of create a disclaimer here that in the yoga world, in the manifesting world, the spiritual entrepreneur world, we hear a lot, particularly from white women and white men with lots of privilege, that we create our own reality, that we manifest everything within our own reality. And as people who are in systems change, you already know this. I don't really need to tell you this, but I do want to make it a disclaimer in this conversation that we are all making our reality. And there are people who are weaving the social fabric, weaving the quantum field, who are in positions of more power and influence. And so things like systemic oppression, or living in areas like Flint, Michigan, or where there is open sewage in Alabama, or where there is such wealth disparity in San Francisco, like this is not, somebody's not manifesting their way out of that without seriously recognizing that this is the reality that we've built together, which is exactly why we're all here, because we all want to create systems change. We all want more influence. We all want to make it easier for people who need like mental health support to receive the support that they need, to have a community, to not feel alone. Because when we are so hyper individualized as a society, that is where we break down, right? Like there is strength and beauty and power in community, because together we can affect true systems change that liberates all of us to some extent. So when we're talking about manifesting and visioning, we are really lucky because we are in a container where we are recognizing that there's the work I can do on my individual level, the work we do here in Tech AF within our own community to build each other up, to change the narrative, and then the work that we're doing in our wider networks. So we actually are in a place of such wonderful potential, and can really affect change way more than all of the spiritual woo-woo white privileged people who are just focusing on changing the collective conscious, right? But we're doing that too. So honoring the fact that we have all been through our own traumas. Some of us have been through extreme trauma. We are all working within our own systems, and everybody is here coming to the table with personal stories that we want to just acknowledge aren't your fault because you manifested them. Or because like of some warped idea that you have like this energetic quality about you that attracts that particular trauma or experience. So let's just put a hand on our heart or wherever on our body to kind of breathe into that. And exhaling. As I always say, you can scream, you can sigh, you can moan, just moving that energy, and you can shake it out of your arms, letting the breath be your medicine here, where we can simultaneously, it's dialectic, right? Like we can hold two truths at once. The world is hard, things are stacked up against us, and we can affect change. I have been through my personal story of truth and pain and suffering, and I have experienced intense privilege simply by being born in the United States, simply by being somebody who has X, Y, and Z in my demographic background. And I can be facing what I'm facing and also be a person of influence and power who can change my own life and those of so many other people. Okay. So now that we've laid the groundwork there and we all can recognize the truth of the world, we are going to start talking about this part of your brain called the reticular activating system. So if anybody's familiar with this part of your brain, I really dork out about this stuff. So if you are familiar with this part of your brain, why don't you drop a 1 or an emoji in the chat, and if you're not familiar and you can reach a computer and you're excited about dorking out for a second, why don't you drop a 2? So the reticular activating system. I have so many things around me and I keep losing the things that I need. Okay. So the reticular activating system . I manifest this experience as a kid. I used to pretend I was a teacher and like write on my whiteboards and chalkboards and stuff. Kristen, I'm like, finally, it's coming true. So the reticular activating system is a part of your brain, also known as the RAS. And it is in the midbrain. Well, it's in the brain stem, and then it kind of like shoots neurons out into the rest of your brain. And it is responsible for filtering. Well, it's responsible for a couple of things, and that's where it gets exciting. So it's responsible for filtering your environment and picking up all of the external stimuli around you so that it can figure out what's important to your particular brain, to your particular life experience. So what is really interesting about that is that that means that it's in charge at this point, potentially in default mode. So a really great analogy that's kind of been shared down the line is your brain, your reticular activating system, your RAS, is like bloodhounds who are trained to go out and search and rescue or find something in particular. So the most pivotal piece of that whole part, well, two pieces: one, the training, and two, being given the scent. Like the bloodhound needs to be told what it's looking for in order to go out into the forest, to go out into the wild, to find what it's looking for. Otherwise, it would be just like any other dog, and it would be smelling trees and chasing squirrels and focusing on one thing and then getting distracted and moving to another thing. And it needs both those things. It needs to be trained over and over and over again to be disciplined. And it needs the scent of what it's looking for in order to find it. Otherwise, if it finds it, then that's kind of just like dumb luck, right? So what we want to do is start to move out of default mode and move out of toxic belief systems. So again, dialectic, right? So one thing is true: a lot of female founders, or a lot of white men who control money, don't like to give money to white women or women of color or anyone else who's not a white man. And this impacts us as female founders. That is true. But what is also true is that a lot of powerful women with incredible, brilliant ideas and focus do get funded. A lot of women are in positions right now, and men who are allies, where they are trying to change the system. And so your brain can keep looking towards the evidence that it will be really hard to get funded, or your brain can look towards the evidence that miracles are happening every day, people are changing systems, and that by meeting the right people and being disciplined and focused in your mission, you're going to succeed. Your success is inevitable. So which thought do you want to focus on? Because the one that you focus on is going to create your reality. Okay. And it's just like when you're like, oh, I'm thinking about buying a cute red convertible. All you see are red convertibles. Are there more red convertibles on the road? No, but your brain is now trained to find that stimuli and to find that convertible. And then you're like, well, the universe is telling me, yes, let me get my red convertible. And it's a beautiful thing. So we could go all the way into the woo-woo of Dr. Joe Dispenza and how and I mean, lots of people, this is kind of becoming mainstream, of how we are part of the quantum field. It's not like out there, it's not some fake thing or ethereal thing, like it's been proven scientifically over and over again. And the leap of faith here, the woo-woo part, is that when we recognize that we're part of that quantum field. So if like attracts like, if you're really energetically, magnetically focused on one thing, then that thing is going to be just as attracted to you. This is like the woo-woo thing, the leap of faith, which I love and want to dork out to as well. So you can believe that. And I like super encourage that belief. Like we become a magnet for everything that we want. But just in the logical, practical sense, you can train your brain to pick up the scent of what you want to create in your life. How does that feel hearing? Is that landing for y'all? You can nod, you can put an emoji. Are you in disbelief? So the RAS needs to be given a vision. It needs a really clear vision of what you want. And there's a few ways that we can plant that vision. And we're going to do that towards the end. And this is why people use vision boards. It's why they have mantras. It's why they wake up and listen to positive affirmations. Yes. So Peg is saying, if I want in my life, if what I want is fulfillment, then I totally get this. And another piece of that is like, if I want to be happy, so I want to be rich. Like, anybody else want to be rich here? Rich and powerful, influence politics, get people to like live happy lives, have all the power they need. Okay. You don't have to want to be rich. I'm just seeing if anybody else shares this. So I want to be rich, but do I really like just want a stack of money next to me? No, like I don't want just like paper bills or like cryptocurrency that I don't understand. Like, that's not the point. It's not having the car or the house. It's actually, I want to feel the freedom of choice to live moment by moment, comfortable in my body, comfortable in my space, eating healthy organic food, surrounded by people who love me and mirror back the same values as me, surrounded by books. Like, I want to feel good. I want to feel fulfilled. And so the more I focus on feeling fulfilled now, the more I focus on the positive relationships in my life now, the more I'm going to receive back. So just energetically, I'm already creating the life that I want by letting my mind focus on the good in my life and the things that I want to amplify. So a lot of the times I remember like, yes, and like all of this and more, all of this amplified. I want to feel as good in my body right now, as healthy as I feel, and more. And so the and more is where we get to play, right? Like, what does and more look like? And again, it's not the end goal. It's who you become, what you experience, how you interact with your life internally and externally. That is the point. Okay. Feel like I covered all of those pieces. Oh, yes. And so in yoga, we set intentions for like every class. Your teacher will be like, set an intention, and we call it sankalpa. And these are like, these can be like seen as like the micro moment. So if I'm in this class for an hour and I'm setting the intention to be more grateful, in this moment, I'm just like repeatedly bringing my brain back, like, be grateful. Don't think about like the flat tire I got last week and how this is impeding my life. Don't think about that thing that my partner said that really hurt me. Like, just be grateful, be grateful. And so if you've ever done that practice, that sankalpa, this is like training and disciplining our brain over the course of an hour. Just like when you go to the gym and you're doing leg day, or you're going to therapy and you're moving through for an hour, just what you're working on in that moment. We're not multitasking. We're just bringing ourselves back into center. So that is like the small version, the micro version that really is concentrating on like building that muscle, building that muscle, building that muscle. And it's a lot more acute. And then like all day long, we're going to start bringing in ways to continue to build that muscle. So to start, we're going to move some energy in our body. And I think we're going to do a mostly seated practice. Does anyone actually, do you have any questions? Is this landing? I would be really happy to like answer any questions you have. You're good? Okay. Does this feel good to you? Like, at all is like, fuck yeah, I'm the queen of my own realm and I can take the leap of faith. Okay, great. So get comfortable in a seated position. And as long as you can hear me, you can just close your eyes or let the muscles around your eyes become really soft and relaxed as you focus your vision on something that isn't moving. And that can be nearby if you need to focus the brain, you feel really distracted, you need something really clear to look at, or it can be farther away. And just taking a little bit of organic movement, maybe circling around from the hips or opening the chest and closing back towards the wall behind you, moving your neck. You're just going to find some organic movement to just see and settle into, how do I feel right now? And there might be parts of your body that feel tight or uncomfortable. And again, the pattern is to look at that part of your body, right? But like, let's focus our brain on the parts of our body too that feel good. Where are you feeling open? Where are you feeling settled? Where are you feeling good? Not because of toxic positivity, not because we want to ignore the things that aren't feeling good, but because we want to be whole. And we want to be grateful. And we want to be more than the sum of our sufferings. And eventually you're going to find stillness. And in that stillness, you're going to see if you can relax your knees down to the ground, releasing the tension in your upper thighs and groin. And then just gentle, the most micro of movements in your pelvis, so that you can feel the place where you're not jutting your tailbone out behind you and opening your belly out towards the front. And you're not doing the opposite of that, kind of tucking in and curling into yourself. You're going to let the spine find its natural curvature, where your shoulders are over your hips. Good. And just settling in, what is my center? Beautiful. And why don't you bring your hands to your legs? And if you're feeling like you really are receptive and you want to draw in the energy around you, you're welcoming source energy, the universe, God, whatever that, the quantum field, whatever it is to you, you can be palms face up. This is a really receptive pose, one of trust and vulnerability. Or you can, and from here, you can tuck your forefinger under your thumb, bowing down. And if that feels too open, place your palms face down on the ground, or sorry, on your legs. And that's more grounding, draws you inward, lets your mind settle into the present moment if it's having trouble doing so. And neither of these things is better than the other. We are just meeting ourselves exactly where we are with the tools that we have to become present. Begin to deepen your breath, if you haven't already, into the belly, filling the bowl of your pelvis, letting yourself soften and release your abdominal muscles, letting your ribs expand, and then opening your heart, even feeling your collarbones spread and the shoulder blades relax down your back as you inhale. And then as you exhale, feel yourself soften. Ribs come back towards one another. And here you can engage your lower navel beneath your belly button. Just draw inward, pressing the rest of the air out of your diaphragm, out of your lungs. And then inhale, count for a count of 4. Filling from the bowl of your pelvis to your ribs, to your chest. At the top of your inhale, just hold for a count of 2. And it's okay if you're already exhaling, just exhale for 4. And then exhaling for a count of 4. Feeling the air move out from the top to the bottom. No pause at the end of the exhale. Inhale for a count of 5. Pausing at the top for a count of 2. And exhaling for a count of 5. Good. This time, increase your inhale to a count of 6, if it's possible. If that's really straining you, don't enter into that mode of mind. Just stay soft. Count to either 4 or 5. Pause at the top, and then exhale. Good. Empty the breath. And at the very end of your exhale, just pause for a moment before the inhale. See if you can lean back into this suspended moment in time. Good. And then let's keep a nice steady breath in and out. You choose 4, 5, or 6. And the next time that you inhale, you're just going to let your arms sweep out to the side and up towards the sky. So breathing in. Good. Let your shoulders relax down your back. And then just flip your palms and exhale. Come all the way back down till your hands are by the sides of your body. Inhaling, sweeping out. Eliminating the hold between your breaths and just exhaling, coming down. Beautiful. One more inhale, sweeping up. Or sorry, one more time in this motion. And then exhale, sweeping down. Good. Bring your left hand to your lap, and then just drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. Your right hand's on the ground, or it's slightly above the ground, and you're just letting the right side of your neck open. And it doesn't have to be this aggressive, forcing, pushing. You're just gently letting the neck, shoulder, maybe the very top of the back, soften, stretch, and open. And then if you have more openness in your neck, you can bring your left hand over. So it's coming up and over your head, resting on your right temple. And you're just gently encouraging, not forcing, more opening across the right side of your body. And keeping the breath steady and free. Either with your hand crawling towards the back of your head, so you're spider walking your fingers towards the back of your head. Then you're going to tuck your chin in towards your left pectoral muscle. And you can do this with or without your hand. See if you can relax your right shoulder down towards the ground. Just noticing what kind of information you're picking up there. Good. And then releasing your left hand from the back of your head. Just bring your hand around and just tilt your chin up. Just really gentle, smooth, take care of yourself. And then back to center. Good. We're going to inhale, sweep both arms up. And then exhale, bring both arms back down. Right hand comes to your lap. Left hand is either on the ground or lifted slightly. And then just bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. Allowing the opening, now that you know where we're going, to be gradual, sensual, soft. Observing any differences on this side. Good. And if it feels right and good to you, you can bring your arm up and over to your temple. So you're just really gently encouraging. And every time you touch your body, I want you to do so with love, with appreciation. Receiving what we need in life starts from us. And it's so easy for us to give to other people who we love, to give to our mission that we adore, what it needs, what they need. But we really need to take care of ourselves first. And now walk your spider walk your fingers to the back of your head if that feels right to you. And tuck your chin in towards your right pectoral muscle. And trusting yourself if you want to walk your left fingertips out more, if you want to tuck your chin in more or tuck it in less. Good. And then just walk your fingers towards the front of your body, just like you're tripping up the chin of a child. Lift your chin and then bring it back to center. Now you're just going to gently tuck your chin in. And the spine is still tall here. We're going to focus on the back of the neck muscles. Let the shoulders relax down your back. So we're creating some more openness up around your neck and upper chest because we're going to move into our chest and we really want to feel that we're creating more and more space. And then lifting your chin. Good. Roll your shoulders forward and up towards your ears and down your back. Do that 2 more times, sinking back in with your breath if you lost it. Drawing the mind back into the sensations of your body, receiving all of that fresh prana, that fresh energy, life force. Good. And let the shoulders relax down the back. Tuck the very wings of your shoulder blades back into the back of your heart. So you'll feel your chest open. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Good. Bring your left hand down towards the earth. And you're going to just start to lean off towards the side. So this one, we're going to take a round of 3 breaths here. Feel your fingertips reaching out towards the corner of where the wall and the ceiling meet, and just really stretching in to the right side of your body. Let your right hip drop down towards the ground. If you want to, you can look down towards the ground, up towards the sky, or just out towards the horizon. Good. With your next inhale, start to lift up towards the sky, engage your core to do so, and then go over to the opposite side. Let your hip be grounded into the ground. Press into the earth with your bottom hand and reach, reach, reach. And again, your gaze can be at the ground, the horizon, or the sky. Thinking and acknowledging that your neck is an extension of your spine. Good. And now just follow me. We're going to come up with the inhale. I'm going to do a count of 4 because I think we want to speed up a little bit. And then come down, exhale, count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Feel the body stretch. Coming up and open. And if you're like, hell no, this is way too fast for me, you can slow it down a little. And then one more time to each side. Kind of wringing out any stagnant energy. Getting the body juicy, opening up the fascia. Good. Reaching up towards the sky. This time just twist. Wait, actually, before you twist, engage your core. Make sure that you have space and integrity in your core and you're not collapsing into your lower back. And then you're going to twist towards the left. And this time holding for 3 breaths. Your back hand can be on the ground, on the pillow, on your lower back, whatever's most supportive. Before you wrench yourself too far, feel your spine become long with the in-breath. And then exhale, twist from the base of your spine upward. Every inhale, you find a little length. You might come out of the twist a little bit. And then every exhale, you just wringing the cloth of your body. Good. With the next inhale, engage your lower navel. Draw all the way up towards the sky with your arms. And then exhale, twisting to the opposite side. Again, your back hand may be on your lower back or the floor or pillow. Inhale, find length along your spine. And then exhale, twist. So even though your left hand is on your right leg, you're not wrenching. You're encouraging the twist, recognizing that your inner organs, your fascia, everything is holding on to something that can be let go of. There's always more space to be made. And then inhaling, coming up. Good. Twisting again. And this time you're going to take your back hand and sweep it. You might want to look at me, sweep it laterally across. So then you're holding on to both knees or legs, maybe even your hips, whatever you have the most freedom in. And on the exhale, you're going to press your heart back. So this is like a cat-cow in a really awkward position. You're going to press your heart back. You feel your shoulder blades spreading apart. And then on the inhale, start to draw yourself forward. Here, let your booty poke out behind you, your heart come forward, and maybe lift your chin. You don't want to like wrench your face forward, but exhale, drawing back, and just start to move with your own breath, closing your eyes maybe. Oh my God, I really forgot how much I love this pose. Good. And one way to relax your RAS, to move into a place of relaxation where you're not picking up all of the stimuli around you, is to tuck your chin in. Good. And then this time, start to find a groundedness, integrity back in your lower back, in your hips. Start to look up towards me. So you're going to lift your hands, and there are two options. You can either just give yourself a hug, or you can come into Garandasana, eagle arms. So wrapping the bottom arm around the forearm of the top arm. Good. Let your shoulders relax down your back, and then lift your elbows up. Press your hands away from your face so that you have a straight line from your elbows to your wrists, if possible. And you can stay here. This feels really good if you want to focus on your shoulders. If you're like, I want more movement, I'm just a whirly-girly right now, then you can even do the cat-cows with your elbows coming up towards the sky. More integrity in your lower back here, more integrity in your core. You're actually opening and closing higher up in your back than you were in the last pose. So again, creating more and more space in the heart. And if you've been experiencing grief, if you've been experiencing more of that kind of like nervous system response where you're fight, flight, freezing, coming in and out of that frequently, then being really gentle and loving with your heart. Good. And when we're gentle and loving with our heart, when we show ourselves that we can take care of ourselves, that we are a safe space to be in, even when the world is wild, then we can open ourselves a little more. So that's what we're going to do right now. As you come up the next inhale, unwind your arms. You're going to sweep them back behind you. It might be alongside you, depending on how tight you are. And just bring your fingertips behind you, tented or flat on the earth, and just open your heart up towards the sky. And just notice how that feels. And if you feel any sort of response, see if you can soothe yourself. I love you. I trust you. You're safe. We got this. Good. And then engaging your core, bring one hand forward and then just start to lift yourself up. Good. And come back to center. Relax your shoulders down, just taking note of anywhere that is feeling more open and receptive, anywhere that feels like it needs a little extra love. You could have like twitched something weird. Trusting yourself to know what to do. Good. Inhale, sweep the arms up towards the sky. This time twisting off to the opposite side. We'll take an extra breath here. And with your third exhale, you're going to sweep your right arm over your left. Immediately maybe realizing, oh, wow, I'm way more open in this direction, or, ooh, I'm meeting more resistance here. I need to back off a little. Sending your heart through the space of your shoulder blades, letting your shoulder blades open, tucking your chin in. And then inhaling, send the booty back, open the heart forward, lift the chin. And just doing that a few more times with the rhythm of your own breath. Good, and then coming back to center, using your core, reaching your arms up and just twisting. So hopefully your arms are opposite at this point. They should be. It'd be amazing if they weren't. Press your forearms away from your face. Forearms are a straight line from elbow to fingertips. Maybe lifting your elbows. This might be a happy place for you. This might be just where you want to be, even if you moved on the other side. Or maybe you want to move and just take 3 rounds of movement here. And depending on what you did today or yesterday or 3 days ago, your body's going to feel different than the next time you come here or the last time you were here. So never arriving with the expectation that your body needs to contort itself or work through pain, but instead working with what we have to build the integrity, the flexibility, the mobility, the strength. Good. And with your next inhale, sweeping the arms. I really have no behind me right now. I just have to the side of me. And then opening your chest, open your heart, and just imagine that straight down into your heart, either coming straight from the sky or from all around you in this kind of vortex. Everything you need, all of your desires, is kind of just being funneled, swirled right into your heart. All of the wisdom and foresight is just being drawn straight into you. And at the same time, up from the ground beneath you. Good. And then walk your hands back towards your lap, taking the mudra or hand position of your choice. Maybe your hands were down last time. Maybe you want to tuck your finger in towards your thumb. If you want more of that earth energy, you're like, oh yeah, I'm really connecting to Gaia, to Mother Earth. Then bring your forefinger and middle finger together. Tuck your ring finger and pinky in. And then just plug your fingers, your forefinger and middle finger, right into the ground. You're just plugging right into the earth's energy. And then just very gently tuck your chin in towards your chest. It's not a stretch. You're just creating an energetic lock. It's called a bandha in yoga. You're powering down your reticular activating system to come into a relaxed mode. And letting the breath arrive into the bowl of your pelvis, into your ribs, into your chest, like the sweetest nectar you've ever received. in a moment, we're going to pick up our journals and we're going to start to write about what we want to bring into the world, what we envision for ourselves. And we're going to keep building upon this experience outside of class. But you'll be timed, and so I'll give you one particular area of your life to focus on with some prompting. So try to let go of your thinking brain and really drop into this space of when I am at peace, when I feel relaxed and open, when I have space. What is it that I truly desire? What is the feeling that comes with these desires? And if I were training my mind, if I were giving it the scent, what would be the most potent, the most specific scent possible? So that I could keep following it, keep following it, keep following it, until I land exactly where I'm meant to land. Good. So you're going to pick up your journal and we're going to first focus on physical, emotional, and spiritual health. And if you were to give yourself a sense, what would it look like, feel like, and be like for you to live in your ideal state of physical, emotional, and spiritual health? So this can be your daily habits. And everything is going to be from present tense before we get there. So I am waking up every morning, feeling, doing. It could be around eating, places you go, people you speak with. And you're going to have about 3 minutes for each of the 5 domains. And I really invite you to drop out of the thinking mind so much and really like, how do I want to feel? What does it feel like? And when you drop into that feeling of feeling an elevated emotion of gratitude or joy or abundance or liberation or sovereignty, move from there. Not what you've been told these things look like and feel like or how other people are doing it, but what is real for Peg? What is real for Alyssa? What is real for Kristen? And it can be daily, weekly, monthly, annually. And you're gonna start to wrap up this domain. You can come back later and write again, but you're gonna finish it with 3 thank you statements. Thank you, universe. Thank you. You can say thank you to yourself for X, or I am so grateful for Y. Good. And now you're gonna switch to the domain of career. And for us in particular, company. So your journey now as a founder, what does it feel like and look like? And you can be doing this, I was kind of leaving it open for you. Like some people like 1 year, 5 years. And in your ideal world, how does it feel to be building your company? What does it allow? Does it look like? What are you experiencing or creating or providing? And depending on how you work best, maybe you're seeing images, or it's really body oriented, or it's really detailed, or it's not detailed at all. Trust yourself. Even if it's wildly different than you've ever envisioned your life. What are the opportunities? Who are the people? What does the bank account look like? What does your day of work look like? I'm just offering prompts. You don't have to focus on any of them. And you're gonna start to wrap that up with 3 statements of gratitude in the present tense. Thank you, or I am so grateful. And don't be afraid to go big here. Don't be afraid. Good. And now we're gonna start to move towards financial freedom or your financial health. And so this might be a really natural move from this last one. And it could be How do you feel in your body? What is your home like? What causes do you support with your time or your money? How do you spend and invest and circulate? It can be things like I spontaneously take my partner on romantic vacations. It can be as audacious as taking private jets. It can be as modest as tipping an extra dollar every time I go to the coffee shop. I know someone who tips $100 every time they get their nails done. And in these moments, I give you permission to revoke any idea that you cannot be financially stable and a woman who is spiritual or giving or generous. Money only amplifies what's already there. And you're going to end with 3 statements of gratitude, and they can be exactly relevant to that. I am so grateful I finally gave myself permission to feel safe and abundant. I am so grateful that as a woman of influence, I am making the world a better place through my resources. Now you're going to move on to the domain of your life having to do with your passions, your creativity, your hobbies. And the same thing, if anything I ever say gives you pause and you need to drop in for a second and feel what that means for you, then please do. So this is really fun because you can think about like your inner child. Like, what are things you wished you did when you were little? Maybe like start horseback riding or painting, or you just spend more time in the woods. Like, legitimately, that is my passion, just being in the woods. So maybe yours is embroidering curse words. Could be anything. Just let yourself go. And what does it feel like to finally nurture your inner child? To have the space and time to give yourself over to your passions without needing to make them a commodity, without needing to sell them on Etsy, without needing to package them up for someone else's approval. You're going to start to wrap that up with 3 I am grateful statements or thank you statements. I'm so grateful that I took up Zumba. It's the silliest thing in the world, but I feel so free in my body. I don't know, maybe it's the most serious thing in the world to you. I don't know. And I saved this last one because I really want you to think about how these relationships in your life support the life that you want to live, and how the life that you live, this vision for your future, can support your relationships in a way that is nourishing to you and to other people, in a way that provides autonomy and freedom for you and autonomy and freedom for the other people in your life. This could be about healing past trauma, generational curses, our own patterns. And be about, I'm so grateful that I have my afternoons open and I can go visit whomever I want, whenever the hell I want, and drink coffee in the sunshine with them. And it can be about the relationships with the people in your company. So glad I've built a culture where people feel like they can be authentically themselves and not wear masks. I'm so glad I've created a home where people feel like they can just drop by if that's something you like. And you're going to start to wrap that up with 3 gratitude statements. And once you've written your last gratitude statement, you can just put your journal down for now. And trust that you can come back and keep adding to this, refining this. And just coming into a comfortable seat again. And I want you to place your hands on your body. I always love my heart and my womb space, my lower navel, but maybe it's somewhere else for you. Maybe you want to put this love into your hips. And I just want you to really breathe into the possibilities that you've just written about. I want you to share with your body although your body has always known, that it is safe and exciting and joyful to breathe into these possibilities, to set the bloodhound of your mind into the world, to seek out the opportunities, the people, the resources that can make these things a reality, and that you are this person already, the person living this world, this vision, and you're just peeling back the layers of societal expectations, of familial conditioning, of self-limiting beliefs. You are free and safe here in your body right now. And you are allowed to be big, and you are allowed to take up space, and you're allowed to dream and to set boundaries for the benefit of all. Because you are a good person and you deserve every happiness. And the more empowered you are, the more influential you are, the more you build towards this future, the more you will positively impact the world. And we so want you to do so. We are hungry for your power. Okay, so bring your hands together when that feels good and right. Good. And as you're ready, just slowly begin to open your eyes, maybe 1/4 of the way. And then slowly more and more interweaving your external space with your internal environment. Good. So your homework is going to be to either write a manifesto. So this can be 1 paragraph or 2 paragraphs long. And this is a personal manifesto about your future, with all present tense statements. And it can be as poetic or as practical as you want. I'm like, I have one somewhere, but I don't know where it is right now. Or if the written word is not your jam, you can do a vision board. So I did this vision board in Canva, or maybe it was Adobe, I don't know. And I didn't do it, my husband did it. It's our joint vision board. Just be honest here. So you can upload your own photos to Canva, just like you were doing a PowerPoint presentation or a slide deck. And it can be things that are like abstract and like the one in the center, which is just like our divine union was powerful, like what is possible when we come together. And then like our friends and our family and this sweet ass forerunner, gold bars, you know, like whatever it is that like jazzes you up and like really captures your elevated emotions that you were writing about. So one of the 2 of them, and this is real homework, I want to see them in either the level 1, if you're in the Founder Academy and you just want to share with the people in your existing cohort in the level 1 Slack container, or you can share it in the personal development. The manifesto you can also do in Canva. I did mine in Canva, and it's just like my whole vision for the next 5 years and who I'm embodying and what we're all building here together. You're all in it. So either one of those deliverables. And then also you're gonna record a meditation with your own voice on your voice memos. That's the easiest way to do it, just on your phone. And it will be in all present tense statements, and it will be a combination of your 5 domains and what you imagine your life to look like. And let's do it shorter term. So if the vision board and the manifesto are the big vision, then this 3-minute meditation, 5-minute meditation, however long, is more like 6 months to a year. So it'll be things like getting motion sickness from Kristen's camera. It's gonna be things like I wake up every morning and write 3 morning pages and just free write, and it just creates so much levity in my life, and it creates an open space for what I am creating, and I make time every weekend to spend 3 hours by myself or 3 hours with this person, and you're just gonna really start to craft your life and the things that you really actually wanna show up for, and it can be things that, like, are, quote, "out of your control," so, like, checks arrive in the mail and I don't know why, but there they are. And I'm experiencing abundance that's coming from all of these different sources. And I feel like safer and more sovereign than I ever have. And so that 3 minute to 5 minute meditation, I would personally write it out first so that it's all like vibey and feels really good. You record it and then you're going to listen to it every single morning when you wake up. And it's like the easiest thing to plug in. So if you already have a yoga, meditation, whatever practice that you do in the morning, just tack this on to the end when you're feeling as energetically ready to plant the seed. And if you don't have that practice, then this is a great way to start this practice. So I'm going to stop recording. So if you're watching the replay, thank you so much. And if you have any questions, come on to Slack and ask me. And please share your experiences and encourage one another. And I am so looking forward to reading your visions and watching them all come true over the next many years.